Hi, welcome back to a special edition of the Ponchak Preview. Today I am actually going to share with you my own personal narrative that I have written over the past couple years as an inspiration for you on what to be brainstorming this weekend, because starting Monday we will be writing our own personal narratives. It's going to be a 2-week unit, and you guys need to start thinking of incidences that have changed your life. It can be a happy time in your past. It can be a sad time. It can be a painful. It can be like your favorite sports memory, but it's got to be one thing that happened and that changed your life. So I'm going to read to you mine. It needs a little bit of work, but I did write one so you guys can have an example. Okay. A strong finish. Racers to the starting gate, blared the loudspeaker above my head. People started to usher into the crowd like cows into the feeding slots. It was then that my heart realized this is real. This was really happening. I had to take a few breaths to slow my runaway heart. How is everyone else so calm, so focused, so ready? What did I get myself into? What if I fail? I can't believe that in a matter of seconds I was about to start my first marathon. I was about to run 26.2 miles. Focus on something else, I told myself. That was when I had noticed the other runners putting the earbuds in. Oh, music, great idea. I started to put in my new, fancy, made just for running headphones in, but before I made it into my ear, I felt a gentle tap on my shoulder. As I turned around, I was surprised to see a silvered-haired gentleman whose wrinkles didn't match my expectations of a marathon runner. He must have noticed my nervousness. Your first marathon? He inferred with sweet concern. Yes, sir, I meekly said. Showing up is the hardest part, he said with pride. We continued to exchange friendly words, and he proceeded to encourage me. He divulged that this was his 63rd race, and each race he had, he still got nervous. It's a sign that you're alive, he'd say. Runners, take your mark, interrupted the announcer. Well, kid, knock 'em dead, he whispered. Our conversation helped ease some of my jitters, but only for a second. I placed my earbuds in and selected the first song from the well-thought-out and carefully planned playlist to pump up songs. Bang! And just like that, the gun released the runners. I felt like a horse in the Kentucky Derby, only I knew to follow my running plan, slow and steady. And just like the tortoise and the hare, 1 mile at a time, I was jamming out to We Ready, We Ready. And I was ready. Each stride was perfectly timed with each breath. I was killing it. I was meeting each mile marker at my desired pace. Sub 10-minute mile pace. Not Boston qualifying pace, but I think it's impressive. It's at mile 3 where I run into my next inspiration. Johnny Freedom came running up next to me and screams, "Hooah!" Luckily, my music was blaring. Otherwise, that might have startled me into the point where I might have fallen. This was just the distraction I needed. He invited me to join him for the rest of the race. I immediately accepted his offer. He was an experienced runner who also kept a pace of 10-minute miles. And to top it off, he was hilarious. His witty comments and playful banter was sure to distract me for the next 20-plus miles. Freedom didn't disappoint. He ran up to random strangers that lined the streets, and he gave them big bear hugs. He would high-five spectators, and he even rubbed a man's beard. I truly enjoyed his antics. I couldn't believe how I was still running with ease and enjoying it. It was because of his goofing around and entertaining signs such as, Chuck Norris never ran a marathon, run like the hot guy in front of you and a creepy guy behind you. My favorite, smile if you peed a little. There was one other thing persuading my legs to keep running. At mile 18, I would get to see my family. I couldn't wait to see my daughters. I was sure Lily Bell would be glued to her daddy's hip because of the large number of strangers. My youngest, though, would be trying to chase down the runners. Oh, that wild child. And then, of course, there would be my husband, Brandon, my rock, and I knew that we were getting close. The white flag that marked mile 18 was just ahead. There was that runaway heart again. I felt like it was in my throat trying to beat out of me. Where were they? Where was my family? Did they make it to the marker in time to see me run by? My feet moved faster. I knew I was supposed to keep my pace, but I couldn't help it. The adrenaline pushed me forward. Mommy, a sweet voice squealed. It was my babies. They stood there clapping and cheering. Brandon let them run to me and give me big hugs. Doing great, babe. Keep working hard, Brandon encouraged. It was just what I needed to push me. Only 8 miles left. Little did I know that my battle had really just started. The next 2 miles seemed just like the rest, but mile 20 is where I felt myself falling back. Johnny's stride started to outreach mine, and I could see I was losing speed. Something felt off. I reluctantly told Johnny not to wait on me, and we parted ways. He kept his pace, and I dropped off a bit. Still running, though, I could see his back getting farther and farther away. The disappointment crept in. I felt a sharp pain. It felt painful. Wait, was I really feeling pain? Physical pain? It was my knee. Instantly, I remembered back to college where I felt the exact same pain. I had torn my meniscus in college, and I was sure I had just done the same thing. Luckily, my previous experience told me that I could push through it and that I didn't have to stop. Give up. No, you're hurt. You only have 6 miles left. And still an hour of running time. No, you've got this. You've trained hard. You will finish. Only 6 miles left. It was the loneliest 6 miles of my life. With every twist of the path, I felt more isolated, and my knee lit up with intense pain with every step. 3 miles left. I started to feel more hopeless, but like the guardian angel, a voice shouted, "You got this!" I knew that voice. It was my friend Faith, who had come to see me finish. As I passed her, she extended her hand. The high five sparked energy that I needed to finish strong. I only had 3 more miles. There was the finish line. I was now 3/10 of a mile from finishing, and the crowd was there, but I didn't hear them, and they were blurry faces and muffled cheers. All I could do was focus on that finishing pad. It was now or never. My feet kicked it into overdrive, and it was like they moved on their own, faster and faster towards the end. I didn't feel pain. I didn't struggle to catch my breath. I didn't have any doubts. I had determination. I had pride. I picked up my speed. I widened my stride, and I steadied my breath, and I crossed the finish line. I did it. I didn't know if the saltiness was from my sweat or from my tears. I didn't care. I was done. I had finished my first marathon. I had run 26.2 miles. I was so glad that I didn't give up when I wanted to. When I crossed that finish line, I realized that what I had written on my arm was true. You are stronger than you think. I had just finished a marathon. That's 26.2 miles, and I will never do it again. Or will I? Now go and brainstorm your own ideas. I'll see you guys on Monday.